Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. Build update number 2 on our Revell 71 Plymouth Hemi Cuda 426 kit. Wow, there's a mouthful, huh? Hey, I got a lot done, so let me get the guys out of the way here. Even Daisy showed up today. And we'll start going, oh geez, going over everything here. It's like a tornado just went through here. So let me move the engine out of the way before I really break it. And I'm going to move the body out of the way too for right now, because I want to start with the chassis. And as a guy put it on the group page, my makeup kit of weathering. This is the Weathermaster C, and I used the orange rust on here after I painted the... Here, I'll bring you in here a little bit so you can see better. But after I painted the exhaust on here, I came in with the orange rust and just here, there, and everywhere gave it a little bit of rust. I let that sit for a while. Then I came back and I took my oldest, crappiest brush. I used to use this for doing the oceans when I was doing ship builds. So it's hard as a brick to about here. And then this part is just enough soft, but still stiff as heck. I use this and my XF60 to do a quick dry brush on here. Just always make sure that you go the direction of travel, because if you go sideways this way, and like in here, you don't have a choice. You got to kind of dig it in there a little bit, but you always want to kind of go this way, because if you start making lines going out, it looks like the car spun sideways, instead of getting dirty going to work. I use that. I let that sit for a while. Then I came back with my NATO Brown. And both of those colors are just, I looked up, grabbed them, and these are what I use. There's no reason for them other than they caught my eye. The XF68. And I did a very light dry brush over the dry brush with that, just to give it a little more color and depth. And then I let that dry for about half an hour and came back with my panel liner, and I started doing the mufflers and the exhaust with the panel liner. Super duper light, and I'll show you, even super duper light, it still kind of ran. I'm okay with that because, like I said, it's a daily driver. It's not going to be clean and pristine, but it looks so good. It makes that exhaust look so nice on there. One thing about the dry brush, shiny objects thing, it showed that I forgot to scrape the lettering off the bottom. I forgot all about it. And as soon as I hit it with the dry brush, I was like, oh yeah. But it's okay. I mean, I'm going to have the rear suspension over there. I'm going to have my brake lines and things like that running. So you really won't even... I'll know it's there, but you won't really see it. But that's it with the bottom. I'm not sure if I'm going to ever use the metallic gray on my straps again. I think what I'll do is I'll paint them the flat aluminum just like the rest of the tank, and then just hit the straps with the panel liner. I think that's a little too dark. I don't know if it's just me and because there's so much white here, but I don't know. But again, when you're doing this, please don't forget to dry brush the bottom, because, I mean, you're going to see it. It'd really stand out like a sore thumb if you didn't. And ask me how I know that. So there's that. I also, and the reason why it's not on is because I dry brushed this separate, because I like doing the inside of this too, because even though the engine compartment's going to be clean and pressure washed and everything, again, you're still driving it, so it's still going to show up. It's still going to be, geez, that was off. It's still going to be a little dirty up there with the engine over top of it and all that, making it to where it's hard to pressure wash, and the radiator will be right there. So I just like to do it just to give a little more life to the car. But I do this separate so that I can get in and do these rails and things like that, because this will cover all that up. and you're just not going to get there. So you have real bright white and then dirt. So the other part I did with the Weathermaster is the metal part of the exhaust. Just super light. I'm not going crazy with this stuff. And then I hit that with the panel liner too, just real light. I do like the gunmetal on my exhaust heads. That looks so good to me. It looks right. So since I got the interior here, I did the interior like I showed you last time with the tapioca. I put a coat of quick shine over that to seal that. Then I hit that with my panel liner gray. And then after the panel liner gray was done, I let that dry. I came back with the tapioca. And when I say the tapioca, it's just folk art tapioca. And it's the color that I grabbed because I have two colors and this looked better than the other one. That's it. And all I wanted to do was make it to where it was a different color than the body. That was it. So, and I'm happy with that. I think it looks really good. I use that panel liner gray in the body part here and just around a little bit just to give it some highlights because it's so bright white. It just sucked all the where you can't see anything. And I did the front seats the same way. They're going to sit in there and look really good. The next thing I want to do now is I want to take that quick shine again and just hit all the leather parts and the door panels. And that'll bring them back to life. It'll give them the shine like the gas pedals here. Those gas pedals are just quick shine over the flat. So I didn't have to come back and touch up paint or use two different colors. I had the flat out, painted all flat. And then just hit that with quick shine and you're good to go. I do the same thing with my chassis when I do them the flat colors. So that was easy peasy, real quick, just to give it a little bit of life. But I'm all excited about my dash. There is some very good details molded in this dash. So I came in, I painted it semi-gloss, which it really is awful shiny for semi-gloss. And I don't know why, because the next day I painted semi-gloss. That's what I got, is the semi-gloss. So I don't know what the heck, maybe the humidity in the air or something, the amount of thinner I used or whatever, but it's awful glossy. So, and I did paint this gloss black and then went over it with the semi-gloss. And I'm wondering if the gloss black just pushed that gloss through. So I'm going to leave it. It is what it is. I don't want to ruin it. And I don't want to get it too thick with paint, and I'm sure not going to strip it. It'll look good inside here. I already held it up inside the body. It'll look fine in there. So I'm going to just go with it. But look at the detail that's molded in there. I took and painted and did the black, and then in each one of the gauges, I painted flat white and let it dry overnight. Came back with my panel liner black and a light drop. And what I did is I got the panel liner, dipped it in here, and then I dipped it onto a paper towel to suck a lot of that out of there. So when I put it in there, it wasn't, just filling those spots up, because it'll do that. So you want to go slow with it and start from a little bit and work your way up. But I did that. I let that dry overnight. And then I came back and I did the red needles on the gauges using a 15-year-old nano liner pen. Don't even have a clue of where I got these things, but it's like a little tiny pointy Sharpie is all it is. And I made sure, just on here, making sure it wrote first, and then just ever so slightly touched them, and that made those lines look really nice. But the detail molded in this, it's a low part count kit. They give it a level 4, but I think there's only, there's only 70 parts in this thing. So, like I said, there's not a whole lot of parts. Things are molded on, but when they're molded very well. I also use the clear green on my radio, like I always do. Then after all that was done, I came back with my gel pen, since I'm not going to be able to get my fingers down on top of the rings. I used my gel pen, and I just went around those with the gel pen, kind of pointing in towards the center and working the gel pen around this way. And I tried to get a video of me doing it, and all you saw was the little hairs on the back of my head and my hands. So it didn't work. The steering wheel looks good. I drilled out the centers and just flat aluminum. And then this is also my accent. I will hit that when I get my quick shine out to do my gauges and a few other things that I want to bring back to the semi-gloss, like the leather. I'll ring that black with that, and that'll make that look perfect. That's why it's still on the toothpick. So we got that. We got our brake booster with gunmetal, the titanium gold, and right now this is just I had the panel liner out, or the accent out, so I just kept on going with it. Again, I'll hit that with the quick shine and make that semi-gloss. I did drill that out for the booster. That'll go into the engine, back on the back side of the back carburetor. And since we're talking about the back side of the back carburetor, here's what the engine looks like so far. And I tell you what, this is a nice looking engine. It really is. They did some good detail work in here. And if you're not one for wiring an engine or adding all the little doodads and extras and dumb stuff that I do, you could leave this thing alone, put this in there, and I'm telling you, man, that thing looks nice. It really does. I used an old brush to do like the coil and the strap for the coil. And that's just gloss yellow, silver, and believe it or not, that's this desert tan over the orange. It made it look that perfect color that Excel has on their caps. The carburetors came out great. I drilled 3 holes on this side for linkage. I drilled a hole in the front for the vacuum advance. I got 2 holes on this side, one for the linkage that goes down around the choke, and the other for the fuel lines. The fuel lines drilled out on the bottom of the bowl. I painted the bowl titanium gold, and then over the flat aluminum on that, just to give it some life. I mean, it's subtle. You'll never see it when it's in. But as I'm playing with it, I had it out. I went for it. The starter, I did semi-gloss black with the titanium gold on the case. I painted the whole capacitor the silver and then came back over that with titanium gold too. And while I had it out, I added it to the access panel for the transmission and let that sit overnight. And then I panel lined that too, just to bring out a little bit of life to it. My valve covers are a little bit shinier than I like, but it'll be okay. I did put the rubber black for all the spark plug boots. And again, if you were just going to go from to there, man, I'm telling you, you got a nice looking engine in this thing. You really do. Again, I'm going to start doing plug wires here in a couple minutes, but I wanted to show that because it is nice. Again, all my extra stuff is painted, and I started getting into the detail work, which I love doing. Painted the hood, the pins on the hood, and the Plymouth on there, which I doubt you'll ever be able to see on the camera because my camera isn't that good. But I got the Plymouth there. My side markers. Everybody asks me how I do my side markers, and this is how I start. Is I paint them with chrome silver first, and it's just the Tamiya's chrome silver, the X11. I'll let that dry a day or two, And then I'll come back with clear orange on these, clear red on the back, and I'll call it good. I think the front of this, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be black, and the same on the back with the rubber, and then just the gold on the gutter, or gold, the silver on the gutter. So I haven't done anything with that yet till I get back on the computer. I did do the vents on either side the black, just because I had it out. And then I did the back with the black. I haven't quick shined it yet, but I did the back with the accent black because I didn't want to try to mask it and spray it. And I think that accent black will paint smoother than the Tamiya's semi-gloss or flat black with a brush. It just lays down there a lot better. And then I came back with Tamiya's chrome silver and did the Cuda. Just really, really dry brush and trying to hold my breath as much as I can. And I'm happy with that. It came out really good. This thing's going to look awesome with the louvers and the spoiler on the back. So I'm excited to get that on there. We're getting close. Once I get the spark plugs laid in and all that stuff, this thing is going to fly. So with all that, I'm not sure how long we've gone here, but I don't want to bug you too long just because, I can hold you up for days. So with that, I want to thank all our veterans and first responders, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. And then I also want to give a shout out to Automotive Model Car Livecast. I love their show. Last Thursday, they even had me on, and I had so much fun. I don't know if they had fun, but I sure had a blast with it. But if you get a chance, check them out. And then with that, I will let you go. I want everybody to have a great day and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.